I have to start this video saying a huge thank you. I actually can't believe we reached 1,000 subscribers. That's actually insane. Like, I think I filmed for a month, and then I reached, God managed to get us to reach that. And so, as a thank you, today's episode is actually going to be about kind of my testimony about YouTube, why I became a YouTuber, and where that came from. And so I think that you'll be able to get a lot from this story about faith, about how God follows through, and about the goodness of God, and that you can trust God. Okay, so it's actually kind of crazy. I've always wanted to be a YouTuber as a kid. I think most kids want to be YouTubers. Like, I don't think that's quite the special part. We all want to be YouTubers. And then I kind of grew up and forgot all about that. But I always kind of had it in the back of my mind. Like, wouldn't it be cool to be a YouTuber? Like, never mind being famous, but just to be on YouTube, that would be insane. And I've always had that, even when I was older, or old, I'm not old, but you know what I mean. And then I became a Christian. And I started to watch Christian YouTube with Christian, not producers, content creators, that's the word. I then started wondering, I could do that. That would be kind of cool, and I would be glorifying God and everything. And I started to talk to God about it. Like, wouldn't that be kind of cool? God was really silent. And sometimes God does that. He was silent. Like, I did not hear him at all. And so I kind of let that thought go. Never returned to it again. Never really had it in the back of my mind again. Then last year, in May, I was praying. I was in the quiet space. And I just feel it come back. Like, you should become a YouTuber. And this time, it didn't seem to come from me. It seemed to come from God. And I started to get so excited. Like, this excitement and this desire to become a YouTuber had completely taken over. Like, it was crazy. It was like I've always wanted to, because it could be cool, but never seriously. But now, then in May after, when I was praying, it was like a switch had been turned on. Like, I wanted to be a YouTuber so bad, and I could feel that desire to do it for God, and to want to do it for God, that he wants me to do this. And it was like a fire had been lit for God, that I wanted to glorify him through YouTube. And so I never had such a desire before. It was insane, and that's how I knew it was from God, because I did not desire this. It was God who placed that dream within me. And so then I pray about it, and I'm so excited, and I start preparing the whole YouTube channel thing. And at this time, I was really listening to kind of vlogging Christian content creators, like lifestyle influencers, like who vlog their whole day. And I was sure that's how I was gonna be, or who I was gonna be on YouTube. Turns out I'm not. We'll get to that part later. And so I start preparing everything for it, the picture, everything. And I hear God tell me, stop, wait. And at this point, I think I was not ready to be a YouTuber yet, in the sense that I was doing it partly out of flesh, where I wanted to become popular, where I wanted the fame and to be part of the YouTube community, which is wrong, because I was not doing it solely for God, which is why when he said stop and when he said wait, I had a very, very difficult time doing so. Like, I wanted it so bad, and at this point, I think the enemy tried to distort it and to twist it into it being for my flesh and for my pride and what I wanted, which is completely wrong, right? Because then it wasn't for God, it was for my own self, which is not what God intended. And I think God was so kind in that moment to stop me, so that I could mature through that. And the best way actually to let go of something and of these selfish reasons to do something is to just not do it, and to wait and to trust God, which is what I did. And it was extremely difficult. In fact, so difficult that I asked God for a sign that he did not want me to do this, because I felt such a desire to do it. I was actually confused whether or not God wanted me to do it. I was honestly super confused. I did not know what God wanted me to do, because on one hand I had this God-given dream and desire to do YouTube, and on the other hand I felt God tell me to wait. And so I knew both came from God. I just didn't know what to do. And so I basically asked God, okay, God, what do you want me to stop YouTube? Do you want me not to do it? Remember, I did not actually start filming at this point, just to keep things in perspective. And again, here's where I was a little bit sinful. Like, I'll be honest, I'll be humble. There was a butterfly passing by, and it was going towards a tree. And I told God, okay, well, God, if you want me to be a YouTuber, like right now, to start filming, let it land on the tree. If not, let it turn around and do a circle around me. And so I had made the easier option be what my flesh wanted, which was to go to the tree, which is the most plausible outcome for the butterfly to go to the tree. I don't know if that makes sense. But I had asked God that if he did not want me to do YouTube, that the butterfly would have to literally change course. And so that was kind of sinful, because I was hoping that the easiest solution would go, because I was doing it for God but out of the flesh, if that makes sense. And God literally makes the butterfly change direction and go around my head. Like, the butterfly was going like this, and then it came back and went around my head. Like, God is so good. He took my sinful prayer in a way. I mean, it was sinful, but at least I was kind of asking God for advice. So it wasn't like completely sinful. It wasn't great. And I see that now. But I think God recognized that I was also doing it out of faith, because I wanted to do what he wanted, right? And so the butterfly did this. I'm not kidding. And then I kind of said, okay, God, you win. I'm not doing YouTube until you tell me to. And remember, I still had that desire. And so which I knew was from God. And so I asked God to send me a blue jay when he wanted me to start filming and when I was ready. And so I did not see a blue jay, although there was a family of blue jays right near my house, right beside it, for the whole summer. It was May. I did not see it for the whole summer. And at the end of August, I was wondering whether or not I was going to see it at all. And I still had that dream to become a YouTuber, but I was waiting for God. I was waiting for the sign of the blue jay. And when I had asked for the sign, the blue jay, I felt such peace, and I felt his spirit, which is how I knew that he was actually going to provide the sign, and that it was in his will to do so. And so I keep waiting, and I wait, and I wait, and I detached myself and my flesh from the whole YouTube, and I used that time to completely surrender it to God. I mean, what else am I going to do? I have to wait. Might as well surrender it to a God who knows everything, controls everything, and loves me, which is what I did. And then it's the day before school starts. I'm praying, and I'm praying. Sometimes in the summer, I pray in a tree, because I have this tree and I climb it and I pray there, because I'm surrounded by the leaves, because I'm in the middle of the tree thing, like right near the trunk, and there's this whole canopy of leaves around me. It's so peaceful. It's like another world, and I love praying there. And so I'm praying there. It's the day before school starts, so August 29th, something like that. And I hear a chirp right beside me. For a second, my heart skips a beat, and I'm like, God, could it be a blue jay? I turn around, and I kid you not, there's a blue jay on the branch, literally like this far away from me, or 2 arms max away from me. I had not seen one for months, and here it was right beside me. And I was praying out loud, and loudly too, and yet it still came. It was not afraid of my voice, which is abnormal. And I look at the blue jay, and the blue jay looks at me. I look to God, and I'm like, God, is that the blue jay you want to send me as a sign? And then as if God answers, the blue jay kind of flies off and lands in another branch right around and looks at me again. And so I said, all right, God, And I praise God. I go home, I'm all excited, and I really want to start YouTube. And I'm very glad because God gave me this sign, and I knew this time He wanted me to go. So I start everything, and then I film my first day of school, kind of like a vlog, sorry. The editing took me 4 hours. And I post it and I get 7 views or something. And I kind of cry out to God, and I'm not panicking, that's the wrong word, but I'm disappointed. I could not see how I could possibly keep that going. And I could not see where God was in this. I had spent all my week doing that, got nothing. I really felt disappointed and despaired almost. And then I was really praying about the YouTube channel, like asking for direction. And God told me that He wanted me to not preach, but to give advice. That He wanted me to kind of do small videos giving advice where He would speak through me. And telling me that He did not want me to be a lifestyle influencer. That was not His plan for me. He had given me a voice and He wanted me to use it, not a lifestyle. That wasn't what He wanted me to do. And so then I decided to change my channel name because it used to be just my name. And I'm wondering what to call myself, and I'm praying about it, and I kid you not, it takes a minute and God places Picture Prophet on my mind. And at first I had no idea, and then just this thing came into my head, like Picture Perfect. Oh, Picture Prophet. It takes 2 seconds, and I am so hesitant to call myself that. You have no idea, because I do not want to label myself as a prophet. I do not, because I don't think I'm worthy of being a prophet, in the sense I'm not a prophet. And I was so guilty. I did not want that as a name. But God basically, I asked God, okay, if that's what you want me to be called, let it pester me. Let it come and in my mind over and over, and never stop bugging me with that name. If not, let it vanish. I tried resisting the name for a week. I think it was in my dreams. I think every single time I would think of that. It was crazy. And I basically gave in, and I was like, fine, God, this is from you. Because it's from you, I will call myself that, as you will. Even if I don't understand it, even if I don't think I should be a prophet, I trust you, Lord. I trust your calling for me, and I trust that name. And so that's how this channel was made. And then I get not many views, and I think at first it was really to almost test me and to help me to realize that it was for God, not for me. It was for God, not for the views. It was for God, not the popularity. And then it started to take off, and now I'm doing super well. And by the way, I'm not an editor. I have no equipment except my phone. And God really does qualify the called. He does not call the qualified, because I am not qualified. And He did all of this with me for His glory. It's all God. It's all God. It's crazy how much glory that gives Him. It's all Him. And so just be encouraged in that, knowing that God has a plan for your life. He has a calling for your life. He's not going to let you down. And even if you're not qualified, I doubt you can be any less qualified than I am. I'm a teen, I'm a kid with a phone. That's it. But God, you can use that for His glory, because God can do the impossible, and He chooses to use us and to use you. And He loves you, and He has a plan. And if He's telling you to wait. But you can't do anything else, right? But obey Him, and He has a reason. Trust that He has a reason to make you wait, and that He will follow through. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you like this video, and I have many more coming. And God, I believe, is going to use this channel, so make sure to turn on the notification bell. And I love you so much, but Jesus loves you more. Bye.